What's up, gaming heroes? Welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. My name is Erosium, and today, guys, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Garrison. Guys, I want to cover the second part of the Garrison setup guide, all the different ways that you can make gold from the Garrison, and we're going to actually set up a whole Garrison on this character right here. So first is first, what do you need to get a Garrison setup entirely fully completed? Okay, first thing you're going to need is a lot of resources. Okay, a lot of Garrison resources. Now, if you watched the first episode of this series, then you would have already set up 10 characters, and hopefully every 3 days you're coming over here and you're collecting your 500 Garrison resources. That's what I'm really hoping you're doing every single 3 days, okay? Because it takes 3 days for your Garrison to generate 500 resources. I'm hoping that you guys have been doing that and getting your Garrison resources to set this all up. Now, if you have been doing that, you will have a Garrison level 1 already. Now, what I would suggest at this point is to level your character from level 10, or whatever level it is, to level 40. And the reason for that is, at level 40, we can have a level 3 Garrison, which means we can have the maximum amount of work orders and make the maximum amount of gold possible. So we're going to go do that now and set up this Garrison, because we are now level 40. We can set this Garrison up to be level 3. So I'm going to do that right now. Alright, so say you're level 40 and you're getting this Garrison set up. You need a little bit of gold to do this because it does cost gold to build these buildings, and it does cost resources. The amount of resources that I would suggest to have is 6,000 Garrison resources. This will guarantee that you have enough resources to get every building, and you should have a bit spare in all honesty. So let's go and do that. Now, something you can do to get Garrison resources a little bit quicker is to buy these from the auction house. They are called huge Ogre caches, okay? And you can buy these. They give you 1,000 Garrison resources per character. You don't need to do that. You can just literally log in every 3 days and get your Garrison resources over there for completely free. It's just, if you're in a hurry to get this set up, then you can do that. I personally don't like to buy these. I just bought this for the example of the video, okay? So I'm going to use that. We've now got 6,636 resources. I've got 26,000 gold. In terms of gold, the amount you need is technically, if you want to get a full Garrison set up, it would be 16,000 gold. Don't worry, don't freak out. You get that gold back very quickly. So upon setting this up, it will only take, between 5 days and a month to regain that gold back. But this is a passive gold strategy, so you should get your gold back really quite quickly with very little work. I've been doing this on 25 characters, and I make well over 300,000 gold a month. Just on this technique of just literally logging in for 30 seconds a day, crafting, and then off I go. Super easy. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, use Architect Table to select your Garrison and upgrade it. Okay, we're going to do that. This is the Architect Table right here. If you don't know how to get to this part, you need to watch the step 1 of the video, and it's all in a playlist, so just go to the playlist on my channel, Garrison Setup Gold. Okay, so let's upgrade that. That's going to upgrade the Garrison to level 2. I'm going to skip this cutscene there, and you'll notice that the Garrison's just got bigger. You've got 2 plots here, and you've got 2 large plots as well. So we're going to go and set everything up as well. Let's get that done. Going straight into the town hall just here, completing this quest. Lovely. Now, because we are level 40, we get access to this quest now. If you aren't level 40, you won't get access to this. My very own castle. Gather 2,000 resources and then use the Architect Table. Okay, that's no problem. I've already got the resources. Upgrade. Luckily, because I told you guys to get these characters all just parked in the Garrison, hopefully you guys have got loads of resources already prepared to do this. And you hopefully already got a little bit of gold as well to get this set up. So we're going to get that set up to level 3 as well. I'm going to skip that cutscene. We don't really need this quest. We can accept it, but we don't need it. Okay, now go straight back to the town hall. This is now a level 3 Garrison. It's huge. It's definitely worth doing this because you get access to things like the herbalism plot, the mining plot. You get access to loads of different things. You obviously get access to those 2 things in level 2 as well, but you also get more plots that you can use as well, which is super helpful. Okay, let's go in here and hand this quest in. Orders, Commander. We'll get it done. Great. Now, at this point, I will click on the Architect Table just here, and we're going to start building the buildings. Okay. Oh, this is the bit of the video that I know I will get hundreds of questions about, and I'm going to try and cover everything I can here. So I'm going to cover here the buildings that I'm going to build to make gold, because these are the buildings that for me make the most gold. For you, if there's other ways of doing it, then experiment and work it out for yourself, okay? I will just show you the buildings that I'm going to use because it makes me the most amount of gold possible, okay? So first is first, I'm going to build a bank, a storehouse. Why? Because at level 3, this will give you an increased amount of work orders. So if you read this here, at level 3, it says enables access to trader, blah, 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 and increases the total number of active work orders for all buildings by 15, which basically means that you, instead of having to log in to refresh your work orders every 3 days, you can log in every 6 days if you got the Garrison Follower as well. So it's so helpful. So we're going to put that right there. That will also, at level 2, give us access to our guild bank if we want to. Past that, I'm going to take the inscription quarters. That's really important because that's going to allow us to craft cards of omens. Well, it will give us access to war paints, which will allow us to craft cards of omens. Okay, so that's the inscription. And then I'm going to take tailoring as well, because tailoring will actually give us access to make hex weave bags, which is super helpful and sells very good on certain servers. Some servers, they don't sell very well, but on some servers, they do sell well. Now, I do just want to give a quick disclaimer here. If you don't want to make the tailoring emporium, you can instead make an engineering works. Now, this is great because you can make goblin gliders. Okay, guys? Now, you only need one character to have this, okay? You either need one character to have engineering, or you need one character to have an engineering plot, which is the engineering works. And this is to make goblin gliders. That will be something we gather the materials for later, but I just wanted to let you guys know that. I just want to let you guys know that right away, okay? So for now, what we're going to make is the storehouse, the inscription, and the tailoring, okay? Now past this, we need to make the trade plot, okay? So the trading post right here, we're going to put that just there. Trading post. This is something we're going to use quite often, but we only need it to be level 1, okay? So at level 1, you just simply pop that down and that will craft. It takes 1 hour to craft. At this point, we're now going to choose the final building here. Some people like to choose a barn, and they like to go and capture wolves every week or every month and keep the wolves fed. Sorry, and keep the work orders going with the wolf cages, and that will give them sumptuous fur. I personally don't like to do that. I actually prefer to use a Lunarful Inn. Okay, so we're going to be putting the Lunarful Inn. Now, what does this do? Okay, so the Lunarful Inn at level 2 will allow you to recruit followers, Garrison followers, which is very, very helpful. Now, at level 2, I like to recruit Garrison followers that have a special trait called Extreme Scavenger. With the Extreme Scavenger trait, when they go on Garrison missions to gather resources, they get 200% more Garrison resources. Now, that's great for us because Garrison resources, we can trade at the trading post for resources of other things. So we will trade Garrison resources for iron ore, for true iron ore. Now, this true iron ore is used to make goblin gliders. Or we can trade the Garrison resources for sumptuous fur. I honestly suggest buying the sumptuous fur from the auction house because it's so much easier to do that. Use all your Garrison resources for true iron ore because you can turn that into with sumptuous fur into goblin gliders and sell those on the auction house for a huge amount of profit. I make on average about 35,000 gold a week just from goblin gliders, not even to mention the cards of omens or the hexweave bags. It's insane. Okay, so now that's all set up right there. Super easy to set up. We are now going to start the daily practice of checking our garrison work. We're now going to start the daily practice of checking our garrison mission table. Okay, we've got one completed mission. Quick tip, if you want to make this go quicker, simply tap the spacebar. Okay, at this point, you want to just complete every mission you can because you need to unlock more missions, basically. And the only way to do that is to complete the missions. So the whole point of this is to eventually get it to the point where we start getting garrison resource missions and sending followers on those missions to get even more resources that we can turn into gold, which is going to be super helpful. At this point, I just need to log off for 1 hour and come back when all these buildings have been built. So that's the plan. Let's do that. Okay, so all the buildings are now completed and are level 1. At this point, we will go ahead and we will just complete them by simply clicking the scrolls in front of each building, and that classes it as a completed building. So I'm just going to each one right now and we're completing that. You can skip the little cutscene that it provides, which makes it a lot easier. Lovely jubbly. And the storehouse just there. All complete. Great. Okay, now we're going back to the town hall and we're going to upgrade the buildings again. To upgrade these buildings, we can't just go into the architect table and click upgrade. It won't work because it says we don't have the plans for that. At this point, you need to now buy the plans for upgrading these buildings. Luckily, we only need to upgrade 4 buildings, which is the Tailoring, the Inscription, the Storehouse, and the Lunarfall Inn. The trading post can stay at level 1. We don't need to upgrade that. So, simply go to this Spar's Bolt Twist here, the Blueprints vendor, and buy the level 2 of each building. So Scribes, level 2. Tailoring, level 2. Storehouse, level 2. And then we need the Lunarfall Inn, level 2. Boom. At this point, open up your inventory and right-click each of these recipes. Great. Now we've learned all those. We can go ahead and open up the architect table again, and you see all of these green arrows that suggests you can now upgrade these buildings. So we're going to upgrade the Lunarfall Inn to level 2. Luckily, we don't need to upgrade it past level 2. Level 2 is the maximum we need for that. Tailoring, let's upgrade that to level 2. Upgrade the Inscription building to level 2, and then upgrade the Storehouse to level 2. Again, the Storehouse is really important to upgrade to level 3 eventually, because we want to get as many work orders as we can out of our buildings, so we don't have to log in all the time and redo all of our work orders all the time. It just takes longer. At this point, we're just going to wait 1 hour for all of those buildings to finish building, and then we're going to finish it off. Okay, so at this point, we simply need to go to the Lunarfall Inn just here. We need to finalize this. I'm going to skip that cinematic because I don't want to see that. Then I'm simply going to go over to our profession buildings and the storehouse. I'm going to finalize these as well. Super easily done. And we're going to skip the cinematics for each of those because we don't really need a cinematic to show us completing a building. Okay, so that is the level 2 buildings complete. At this point, you will be given a quest that you can complete in order to unlock certain things, but that's completely fine. You can do that quest if you want to. We're going to do that in a little bit when we've got all the buildings to level 3 that we need. Then I'm going to take you through all the details for how to do absolutely everything we need for the garrison. To this point, I'm just running back into the town hall, going over to Barros Alexton. I'm going to speak to Spar's Bolt Twist, and we're going to buy the level 3 recipes for the Tailoring, the Inscription, and the Storehouse. Okay, so Storehouse, level 3, we need that. The Inscription, level 3, we need that. And the Tailoring, level 3, we need that. However, all of the other buildings, such as the Lunarfall Inn, we don't need to level that past level 2. Level 2 is the maximum for what we need right now. Again, the trading post, we don't need to level that up at all. We are just going to level up the Tailoring, Inscription, and Storehouse. Now, there is an option here if you want to level up the mining and the herbs, because you want to collect your daily ore from the mines and you want to collect your daily herbs from the garden, you can do. However, it's not something I do, because when you've got, say, 25 characters, a bit like how I do, just doing that every day is a bit too much time. So I like to just buy everything I need from the auction house. It only costs a couple thousand gold a week, and then I get everything, and then I just turn all of that materials I bought into gold from what we do here in the garrison. So at this point, just simply learn the recipes and we will start the level 3 process. Let's build them. Okay, we're going to learn, what's this one? The Scribes one next, and then we're going to learn the Storehouse. Now, some people might say in the comments, oh, the Tailoring building isn't worth it anymore. However, I strongly disagree. I think it entirely depends on the realm that you are on and how the bags market is on that realm. If it's good on your realm and the Hexweave bags are selling for about 400 gold or more, then I would go ahead and do it. To be honest with you, even if they're selling less than that, I would still do it because I think that the market is due to rise in the future and probably balance out at about 400 to 500 gold for bags. That's what I'm predicting as an average across each realm. So I'm going to continue to do tailoring as a result. Okay, let's upgrade the tailoring building to level 3. Let's upgrade the inscription building to level 3. And let's upgrade the storehouse to level 3. At this point, we need to wait 1 hour for these to complete, so we've got some other tasks that we can do right now. The first one is we can go over to the Garrison work orders table here and check for any missions. However, I've already done this and I've already sent off my Garrison followers on missions to get me either experience for the character or to get another follower for the Garrison, which is really helpful. At this point, we're going to check out the Lunar Fall Inn. Okay, Lunar Fall Inn, here we come. Here is the Lunar Fall Inn. This is a great building to have because you can basically hire additional followers for your garrison every single week, which is so good and it's completely free. So let's go over to Lisa Syrian and simply accept this request, recruit a follower, and click on Lisa again. I'm looking to recruit someone. We're going to click that. Now, at this point, you're given the option for going for deadly zones, deadly missions, group damage, magic debuff, massive strikes, minion swarms, powerful spells, etc, etc. These are all different types of abilities that you can recruit for. However, we're going to ignore that because we don't need abilities, we need traits. So we're going to highlight that trait button just there, and we're going to go down to, well, at this point, we need to decide if we're going to hire a follower for one of our profession buildings, or whether we're going to hire a follower for garrison missions. At this point, because I'm setting up the garrison, my first follower that I'm going to hire is an Inscription Follower. This will basically increase the amount of work orders that I receive back from the ones that I put in. So say I put 24 work orders in, at the end of, so say I put 24 work orders in, I will get, say, all that work orders back, and it will allow me to, we're going to go down to professions, and then we're going to go down to inscription right here. Now, the reason I like to hire an inscription follower is because getting the inscription follower takes quite a long quest line, to be honest. It's between 30 minutes and 45 minutes long, just getting all the quests done, just to get the inscription follower. So I actually like to hire the inscription follower and just go and get the tailoring one, because the tailoring one only takes 5 minutes, so it's really easy to get. So the inscription one here, I will choose to recruit this person. I click choose recruit, and then it will generate 3 options for me to choose from. Now, these don't matter too much, but if there's a blue one, I would always go for the blue one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hire the Worgen because he looks cooler. Okay, the Worgen has now been hired. Fantastic. Let's accept this quest and complete. So at this point, you can no longer hire anyone until next week. So we'll come back next week and we will hire some other people. Now, it's worth noting that next week, when we hire people, we're going to go to traits again, and then we're going to look for the Extreme Scavenger trait. Now, what this trait does is it allows you to get 200% increased garrison resources from garrison missions that follower is on. So say you're going on a mission where if you're successful, you get 250 garrison resources. If you have that mission, if you have that follower on that mission, you get 200% times 250, which is a huge amount of garrison resources, which is what we want to see. So we will get 200% of 250 garrison resources on top of the original 250, which is absolutely incredible and what we want to get. So every week you need to make sure you lock into the character, you check your Lunar Fall Inn, and you hire as many extreme scavengers as you can. Now, the reason for that, I will show you right now. We will mount up and we'll go over to the trading post. Now, the trading post is really, really important for us because when you've got your garrison resources, you will need to have this trading post to trade your garrison resources for resources to either sell on the auction house or to craft additional things in your garrison. So we're going to speak to Trader Joseph. Hello, Trader Joseph. And we need to pick up this quest here because we need to find the missing trader. It only takes 1 minute, so not a problem at all. Let's grab that quest and head out of the garrison. Okay, Trader, you need to stop drinking on the job. It's time to get back to work. throw the beer mug at him, and he will say, "Sorry, Erosium," and he'll run back to the trading post for you. At this point, it's as easy as handing the quest in. Done. Complete. Thank you very much. This is the trader. Now, I want to be clear here. This trader changes every single day and will offer different trades, okay? And I'm going to give you a little brief tutorial on how these trades work and what type of trades you really want to be making with this trader. Okay, so each day, the value of these trades will change. You never want to do a trade unless it is 16 garrison resources for the item. This is because 16 garrison resources is the lowest trade value possible, and we want to do that as much as possible. So, in this instance, I like to get all my garrison resources and buy as much true iron ore as possible. However, if the trade is any more than 16 garrison resources, I will not do that. And there's a really good reason for that. I don't want to waste my garrison resources. It's effectively wasting time. Now, you can get a lot of true iron ore every week on all of your characters simply by completing garrison missions and collecting your hefty garrison resource cache every 3 days. Now, the reason I like to buy true iron ore and sumptuous fur when they're at 16 resources each is because you can use true iron ore and sumptuous fur to craft goblin gliders. All you need is a character who has Draenor engineering or a building which is an engineering building, and you can simply craft goblin gliders using both of these two materials, which therefore sell on the auction house anywhere between 10 and 50 gold each. The value of goblin gliders is astronomical. I make about 30 to 40k a week just from goblin gliders. It's incredible. It is honestly incredible. However, what I like to do is I actually save up these garrison resources for every 2 weeks, and then I do a mass craft at that point. Okay, that's enough about the little tricks and tips I use the trader here for. At this point, we're simply going to wait for these buildings to complete, and then we're going to address everything else you have to do next. Okie dokie, so at this point, all you have to do is simply finalize the level 3 plots just here like we're doing right now. Just click the scrolls and that will finalize the plots, and we can go through the next step of the garrison guide. Woohoo! We have done so much this episode, it's insane. So, at this point, you can just grab the quest if you want to, and you can complete that quest if you want to. It's not needed, but it's just handy to have the quest out of the way. Your guild bank is just here, so if you ever need to access a guild bank, you can just click this chest just here. Additionally, obviously, if you have reputation with your guild, you can just use your portable guild bank that you should have already. Now, you can also access the transmogs just here and the void storage just here. So it's really simple having this, and as I say, getting the level 3 storehouse is so good because it increases the amount of work orders that you can complete in your buildings just here and here. Now, I have a guild that I can bring this character into so that I can access the guild bank. Okay, I found my guild and I'm going to request to join. Doesn't matter which is which. Apply, and then I just need to log on my other character and accept the invite. Okay, fantastic. I am now in the guild and I've made sure I've got the appropriate rank that I can check out my guild bank. I've got everything in this guild bank that I need to keep this garrison afloat. I don't say that you have to have a guild bank in order to do the garrisons. However, I do find it very helpful, especially when you've got a whole load of characters, like 25 characters. It's easy just to leave them logged in here and just simply open up the bank, grab what I need, use that piece of gear or use that material, and then pull it back if I need to. At this point, now we've got a level 3 garrison setup. These are all the buildings that I want to set up on this character, and I'm not going to do any more upgrading at this point. I've got 2 more tasks to do to make sure that this is all fully completed to my likings. So, the Scribe Follower. Now we've recruited a Scribe Follower, we can go ahead and place that Scribe Follower here. Get him to work. So Brian, Can you please go to work? And he's going to start working. Allows the creation of special documents and boosts work orders when assigned to the scribe's quarters. Now, as he continues to work and we continue to complete work orders, he will level up and his efficiency will increase as he levels up, which is really good for us. It means we make more gold. Now, we've got the Scribe Follower, that's great, but now we need the Tailoring Follower. How do we get that? Luckily, I've got a video on how to do this. However, I'm going to get this done really quickly right now. I'm simply going to fly to Talador, which is really close, because Talador and Shadow Moon Valley are so close, we can just fly there straight from here. At this point, when we get to this island just here, there is a quest that we're going to pick up, and it's just one quest. We complete it and we get the Garrison Tailoring Follower, which is fantastic. Now, if you aren't planning to do tailoring as a garrison, then you don't need the Garrison Tailoring Follower. I'm just getting this because I like to get out on every character and it makes it super easy. It means that we can get more work orders done, which is great. At this point, I'm just looking for the little gnome that gives the quest that we need. So here, the Pleasure Bot 8000, right here, he is going to be our Garrison Follower. To get him, we must complete this quest from Torben Zap Blast. Super easy, collect the quest and go kill eels. Great, we've now got all of the Zapper Sacks that we need. We're going to go back over to the gnome and hand those in. Here's the Zapper Sacks you needed.
Very good.
Okay, now we're just going to AFK until the Pleasure Bot finally gives us the quest to accept it as a follower. It does take a few seconds, but if you are patient enough and just wait here for a few seconds, PleasureBot does give you the quest that you need, and you get him as a follower. Great! Now, simply use your Garrison Hearthstone and head back to your garrison. Fantastic, we're back at the garrison, and we're going to put the PleasureBot 8000 in the tailoring building. Great, now we've got a follower in both of the inscription building and the tailoring building, and they're ready to start getting to work. At this point, you will need two materials. For the tailoring building, you need Sumptuous Fur. Now, you can either get Sumptuous Fur by buying it from the auction house, or trading garrison resources over here at the trading post, or additionally, you can set up a barn work order at your garrison and then go and farm wolf cages. I personally find that just a bit too much time taken up of my day, of my week, and therefore when I like to do these, I will either use the trading post for garrison resources and swap those for a load of Sumptuous Fur, or I'll just buy it from the auction house. It depends on how the market for the Sumptuous Fur is doing at the time. I do actually use the barn for some of my characters, but not all of them. Right now, I'm just going to create the work order just there, 200 Sumptuous Fur, and they've taken 180 Sumptuous Fur, and they're going to get to work now producing hex weave cloth. Okay, so at this point, this is the inscription building, and they need Cerulean Pigments. Cerulean Pigments come from every Warlords of Draenor herb. All you need to do is have an inscriptionist who can mill that herb and turn it into Cerulean Pigment. Now, it is worth noting that you can learn a mass milling technique for milling massive amounts of herbs, and you learn that from a trader, which is spawns and changes every day just in here. So this is the Enchantress Trader, so we don't need her. The trader we need is Samantha Scarlet, and she's dressed up all in red and basically will be here in your town hall once a week typically. This trader changes every single day, so make sure to keep an eye out for Samantha Scarlet so you can get that mass milling technique done. Now, to get Warlords of Draenor herbs, you don't need to be a herbalist, do not fear. You've got a couple different options, I think, and that is setting up your herbalism building here so you can collect herbs all around here every day. It does take a bit longer in my opinion, or you can go to the auction house and buy the herbs you need, which is what I do. I spend about 2,000 to 3,000 a week on herbs from Warlords of Draenor, and then I just mill them all up, and that's me set for, I'd say, about 2 weeks worth. So let's do that right now. Okay, so we're at the auction house right now. I use an add-on called TSM to make it much easier to scan everything I need. So the herbs that you're going to need are Warlords of Draenor herbs. I've got a group here with all the herbs that I need right here. Talador Orchid, Starflower, Nagrand Arrowbloom, Gorgon Flytrap, Frostweed, and Fireweed. Now I've got all of these in a group here. I simply go to the auction house, make sure I've got TSM turned on, and go to my shopping list, which is the WOD herbs. The group I just showed you is this WOD herbs right here. Run the shopping scan, and this is going to scan the auction house to find the cheapest of all of these herbs. Now, since it doesn't matter which herb we are looking for, we can just get the cheapest from the auction house. I like to buy any amount of herbs from Warlords of Draenor under 1 gold. I will go up to a maximum of 1 gold, 10 silver for my herbs, but I will not pay anything further. So at this point, all I do is I look at what we got here. Fireweed. I see that there's a variety of different auctions there that I can buy, and I just select all the auctions that I wish to buy. That is up to 1 gold. I'm happy with that. I'm going to buy 100 right there. Close fireweed because we don't need that anymore. Then I'm going to go to Starflower. Up to 1 gold, 10 silver. I'm happy with that. Frostweed. Going to buy all the 87 right there. And Talador Orchids. We've got some right there as well. It does look like someone's just put on some Gorgon fly traps as well. So we'll buy both of those right there. So I bought all the ones that I want right there. I'm simply going to go over to the mailbox just here and grab the pieces that I need. Sorry guys, I don't mean to show you all of my gold making. This is just another screen altogether you don't need to see today. Okay, at this point, I need to transfer this to the character where I do all my milling. So let's send this over to Erodaith. Erodaith does all my milling for all of my Cerulean Pigments. So I'm going to send that across to him right now. Okay, we're now on Erodaith, and I'm going to call my mailbox forward and open up the mailbox. Okay, let's grab all of the herbs we just bought from the auction house.
Very good.
And simply open up Inscription and go down to my mass milling techniques. Let's change this to the WOW UI so you guys can see how much we've got here. So this mass milling does 20 herbs at a time, and I don't need to click mill, then click the herb each time. I can literally just create all, which is super helpful. Now we're just milling up these herbs. It's a good idea to keep your eye on that auction house and keep buying those herbs under 1 gold if you can. It's so worth doing. I'm on a really high pop realm, so the prices can be a bit strange on my realm, but that's okay. On your realm, I'm hoping you guys will be able to buy those herbs at a lot lower price than I can. Fantastic. In just a few seconds, we managed to turn all those herbs into Cerulean Pigments. At this point, it's a great time to pick up both Inscription and Tailoring as professions. Only do these on characters that you aren't planning to seriously play, and they are just your Garrison Gold makers. On your main characters, you really just want to have whatever profession helps you the best in the current high-end content that you are playing. So at this point, I'll put my Cerulean Pigment into the guild bank along with any spare herbs that I don't need right now. At this point, as I mentioned, it's a good time to learn your professions on your gold making garrison characters. I simply like to go over to Stormshield in Ashran and learn all the professions there. It's not just as simple as learning Draenor Inscription and learning Draenor Tailoring. You also need to get the recipe from the vendor. So we're going to do that right now. When you've arrived at Stormshield Ashran, you can do this quest if you want to, or you can ignore it like I'm going to. Head over to the Tailoring Master just over here and learn Tailoring. Now, I've already done this, so I won't actually need to do this. Once you've learned Tailoring, go over to this vendor just here, click Browse Goods, and buy the tailoring recipe that will teach you Warlords of Draenor tailoring. Head over to this tower just here and go up. Now, if you are Horde, I apologize. I don't play as Horde, so I don't know exactly where they all are, where all these trainers are. But what I can tell you is, if you go over to a guard and just ask for directions, they will direct you. Go over to the Inscription Trainer and learn Inscription. I've already done this, so I won't need to do that this time. Then go over to the recipe vendor and buy the Warlords of Draenor Inscription recipe. Looks just like that. Cost 85 silver. Cost 85 gold for me right now. Buy that and learn that. At this point, you have an option. For tailoring, you can make hex weave cloth every day. This takes Gorgon fly traps and sumptuous fur. Now, depending on your skill, depends on how much hexweave cloth you can make per day. So this says you can produce 8 per day plus additional based on your tailoring skill. So say you're level 100 Draenor tailoring, you will make more hexweave cloth per day as your daily craft than say someone who is level 1 Draenor tailoring. Now I don't actually like to make this hexweave daily cloth craft because for me, I don't want to have to buy Gorgon Flytrap just to do this. I prefer to use all my Warlords of Draenor herbs for inscription, and therefore I leave this hexweave cloth daily craft and I just do the work orders. What you will need though is to make 5 Secrets of Draenor tailoring. This is because you need 5 of these to buy the hexweave bags recipe from your Garrison tailor. This is a daily craft, so make sure you craft this once a day until you've got 5. Now, at this point, I go over to Inscription, and I would craft every single day your war paints. This is because war paints are so valuable. You can turn war paints into cards of omens. Cards of omens are fantastic because every single card of omens is worth 4.65 gold. 4 gold, 65 silver. So that's fantastic gold profit for the materials that we need to craft it. So make sure you craft your war paints every single day, and then at the end of the week you can craft your cards of omens when you've got a whole bunch of war paints from your work orders. Make sure you've got a Virtuoso ink set before you do that. Let's head back to the garrison. I'll meet you there. Okay, so we are back on Erodate right here, and the reason for that is I want to show you exactly what a full garrison will look like when it's all done. Great, so I've shown you already how to build your buildings, and now we're going to do the actual crafting here. So we need some Cerulean Pigments. Okay, let's make some Cerulean Pigment, let's grab those, and then make my war paints. I'm going to craft the war paints just here. Great, that's excellent. Then I'm going to put the remainder Cerulean Pigments back into my guild bank. At this point, I can make 45 cards of omens. This is 2 weeks worth of cards of omens for this character. I'm going to go ahead and make 45 cards of omens. Now, one of my viewers was nice enough to make me this spreadsheet. This is a fantastic spreadsheet. I will try to make sure I put this in the description so that you can download yourself a copy as well. Now, we know factually cards of omens, when they have been flipped, are worth an average of 4.65 gold right here. Now, all I need to do is put in the character name. This will work out how much gold we're going to make from our garrison. Then we need to input the amount of gold that the hexweave bags are worth on our realm. At this point, go ahead and put however many crafted cards of omens you have done. So for me, I've crafted 45 cards of omens, which each craft is worth 10. So this automatically works out as 450 cards of omens. This has already worked out that if you do 450 times 4.65 gold, it's worth 2,000 gold, 2,092 gold. For 5 days work. However, a month's work, this is 10,000 gold. So this times is 5 days, obviously, by the amount in 1 month, which is fantastic because they're 5 times 5, 25 days in the month. Okay, a hexweave bag, say we can make 1 hexweave bag a week. That means this character has earned 2,542 gold this week. Now, bear in mind, I have 25 characters. So realistically, a lot of my characters will make about 48 cards of omens a week. This is because of my Garrison followers are fully upgraded and they can do the maximum work orders. They produce the maximum efficiency on those work orders. So realistically, 48 is like an average number for me. And I would say about 1 bag a week as well. Now I'm going to input this for 25 characters. This will give you a good indication as to how much gold I make a week. And I say a week, but it's every 5 days realistically. Each week I make 66,910 gold, roughly. That means every month we're making 334,000 gold just from logging in every day, doing my daily craft, and then at the end of the week, just crafting all my cards of omens. Now, personally, sometimes I just like to do this every 2 weeks. Doing all the crafts. I will refresh the work orders every 5 days, and then every 10 days I typically do a full craft. That's just because my time is a bit stretched with recording all the time. If you want to see this for yourself, please go ahead and go to the description and simply download this, make yourself a copy, make a copy, and input all the data you need. These blue sections here can be changed. I wouldn't change the 4.65 gold because this is realistically how much it is worth. It is also worth noting that cards of omens can be sold on the auction house, and this is really interesting because they can be sold for a higher amount than they can be flipped for. So people will buy these cards of omens and they will try and flip them to try and make more gold than they've bought for them. So a lot of the time, they can actually sell for more than they're worth. The average price of each card of omens is worth 4 gold, 65 silver. So if you can sell them for 5 gold, 71 silver each, you're making a huge profit. It's definitely worth doing that. So it's always worth just double checking, are they worth selling on the auction house? For myself, I will sell them on the auction house as long as they don't fall below the price of 4 gold, 30 silver. This is just to ensure that I can still sell them and make a decent profit at the same time. Now, you might be thinking, Erosium, you'd sell them at 4 gold, 30 silver. Yes, I know, that's only if we've got a lot of competition at the time. When I sell cards of omens on the auction house, it's typically about 30,000 cards of omens at once. So you've got to bear in mind, that's a lot of stock to shift. I want to get that on the auction house and get it sold as quickly as possible because I don't want to have to sit there and have to flip 30,000 cards. Now, bear in mind, I can flip probably about 4 cards a second using a little trick that I will show you in a future video, but for myself, I personally prefer to sell them on the auction house for a quick profit. Honestly, for my opinion, I think that most people won't buy this and it will take longer to sell at this price. I much prefer to stick it at 5 gold on the dot and sell through my stock really quickly. No problemo. Now, I've just checked my auction house. Very interestingly, the price has started to increase. This was 180 gold, and bear in mind I'm on the busiest realm in EU. This was 180 gold just a week ago, and I knew that this price would slowly but surely return back to its standard value. So I'm expecting this to come back up to about 450 gold to 500 gold and sit at about that price. I think that this is very likely, and if it does, I will start to do my daily craft for hexweave cloth. But if it stays at about 374, I'll only do my typical just crafting. But if it stays at about 374, then I will just do my work orders and collect them each week without doing my daily craft. Okay, so we're back on Erodiath, who has got the fully set up garrison and has been doing this for months. So we've got really good work order followers here, which is fantastic. So we're going to open up our garrison mission table, and you can see I've got 6,000 garrison resources right now, and this just goes up by thousands every day. Look at that, 900 resources from that mission just there because we've got an extreme scavenger on it. At this point, I'm just doing lots and lots of missions where I can get things like weapon enhancements or armor enhancements. This is to increase the effectiveness of my top level characters here. So I've got lots of followers here and I'm just increasing their DPS output by giving them these weapon enhancements. You see here, he's just been upgraded and now he is becoming stronger. Fantastic. So I can use this to upgrade one of my characters here. I'm going to upgrade my weakest character and try and make them a little bit stronger. Let's do it again. Actually, I'm going to prioritize the characters that have Scavenger or Extreme Scavenger on, because they're the guys who will make us the most money. Oh, Extreme Scavenger, Pit Fighter, Van Damme. Upgrade you because you're going to make me the most garrison resources. Let's go on a mission and do some more missions here. Oh, fantastic. So right here, we've got a Rush Order Tailoring Emporium. These are so valuable. You can get them for tailoring and inscription, and you always want to do these missions to make sure you can get these. So go ahead, let's do that mission. Past that, I'm going to do any mission that can just give me a chance of spoils. I'm not going to spend too much time trying to work out what's got the most chance of success and everything like that. I don't have time for that. I'm honestly just going to look here very quickly, see if there's any armor, weapon enhancements. If there's not, then I'm going to do some garrison work order missions. If there's none of those, then I will just turn this off and not send any missions out, because that would be a waste of garrison resources. At this point, let's show you what the Rush Order Tailoring Emporium looks like and what the Scribe's Rush Order looks like as well. Okay, so you can see here, I've got some inscription work orders to collect. I'm going to collect those right there, so it's a nice fresh work order. There's nothing waiting for me, you can see that. Now, right now, I've got a full work order created. It's due to be completed in 5 days. Well, these work order rushes here will complete these a little bit quicker, but they can only do 5 at a time. So, let's complete 5. Boom, look at that. Let's do it again. Boom, look at that. Let's do it one more time. Fantastic. We can now collect 60 war paints. We just got 60 war paints in a few seconds. That's awesome. Time to restock that work order. Let's go to the guild bank, grab some cerulean pigments, create the work orders once again. Fantastic. I'll see you in 5 days when I need to redo that. Okay, so what are Card of Omens, Erosium? Well, Card of Omens are basically a trash item that you can flip / right click to flip it to basically create a trash item you can sell to a vendor. Now, you have a chance of getting things like a epic card, which would be worth 6,000, 3,000, or 1,000 gold, or you can get other cards that are worth slightly less. It's all dependent on your luck, which is why we average out. The average price of these cards are 4.65 gold. When you flip, say, 100,000, that's the average price across the board. I know this because I flipped over 100,000 myself, and so have many other people, and that is the average price across the board. At that point, you just sell it to the vendor just here. Additionally, if you don't want to do that, because I don't want to do that, you just send it over to your banking character, who will post that on the auction house. To make this a bit quicker, because I've got 25 characters, I've created a mail operation. So I go to groups, I go down to a fresh group that I've made, called Cards of Omens, CO, and I've got Cards of Omens grouped into that section. At this point, I go over to Operations in TSM, go down to Mailing Operations, I go down to Create One, and this is one I've already created, and this is where I will send all Cards of Omens to Aero's bank, and this is the amount I will leave in my bags, 0, because I don't want to leave any in my bags. So it's super easy at this point just to open up the mailbox, click Groups, and click Mail Selected Groups, and that will automatically send through all of my Cards of Omens to my banking character. Now, when you've got 25 characters doing this, this makes it so much quicker to send anything out to your bank, instead of having to put it into the guild bank, and then slowly but surely having to click out and such. Okay guys, that wraps up the second part of the Garrison Gold Setup series. Guys, I hope you appreciate this. Has been a huge video, so you need to do me a huge favor. Go and smash that like button, click subscribe for future content. I make loads of World of Warcraft and gaming videos for the internet, and I really hope that you guys can stick around and watch some of those in the future. I would love to see you again. Thank you very much for watching. This is Erosium out. Any questions, ask them in the comments, and I'll do my best to respond, or join the Discord, and I will happily have a chat with you there as well. Thanks for watching. This is Erosium out.